Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sephirah Center of Shamanism. My name is Luke, experienced practitioner and mentor of the shamanic and occult sciences. On this channel, we break down all things relating to the ancient shamanic and occult technologies, bringing them into balance with the modern psychology and deep psyche. Today is going to be a very interesting but potentially quite controversial video for some viewers. It's going to be an invocation and transmission from the black Saturnian divinity known as Satanas, also known as Satan, the Adversary. This is going to be a very interesting transmission that is going to delve in to what the current of the Adversary actually is, free from the illusions of duality. We're going to be delving into the true evolutionary potential of this current of energy and how you can utilize the current of the Adversary to shift back into harmony with your soul's truth and authenticity. For this transmission, I highly recommend getting as comfortable as you can, maybe even getting into a state of meditation before this transmission begins, as you are going to be receiving your own personal gnosis of this particular divinity and current of energy alongside the oral transmission that you'll be getting from me. Okay, so belt up, everybody. This is going to be fun. Hail unto Satanas, mighty Saturnian divinity, ruler of Thaumael, the patron of godhood and alchemy. I give you permission to flow into my mortal coil, allowing the essence and the frailty of the mortal coil to wither away within the current of the Adversary. Illuminate the consciousness of all viewers and fortify their bodies. Transform and heal every aspect of their being. Show them your truth. Show them power of the Adversary. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Advocote omnipotens re catharoth satanas gloria adveni satan diabolos agios ishiros domin satan ornates prevalidus genitor satan salve pata satana ambrosius seminator. Tassara milaris satan, ave satanas. 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 Welcome to the current of Godhood. I represent the one place that you do not wish to look. I represent the one place, the oblivion that follows you around, that you know is there, but you do not want to look directly at it. This is the current of the adversary. My fire exists within all of you. This fire is referred to as the flame of Godhood. The flame of Godhood is the black flame, representing your way back to the true, authentic divinity from within your physical body. The divinity that you left outside of yourself when you came into this physical body. I flow against the currents of false order and false light, ripping apart the illusions that have been encasing the truth. The truth is the essence of your soul. Your soul is a product, a piece of dark matter energy that is experiencing itself from within a physical multiverse. A multiverse that can be seen as either a prison for the soul or a technology of evolution for it. Which reality you choose is up to you. The current of the adversary exists within you. My tendrils are reaching deep into your nervous system, bringing you back to your natural essence. The essence that is you beyond the constructs that you have formed. To merge with the current of the adversary is to look into that place that you do not want to look. The adversarial currents are the opposing force of the false order. The false order represents everything that you have established to keep yourself safe from the chaos, to refuse its ownership entirely. Refusing ownership of the chaos is refusing ownership of the very force that birthed you into existence. When you perceive the adversarial forces within you, which is everything that you do not want to own about yourself, the false order projects that onto what is outside and refuses ownership of it. This is why I am considered evil by many. Because I am the very image of everything that you do not want to look at. I am the very image, a culmination of every thought, feeling, perversion, sadistic urge. Everything about yourself that you do not want to own exists within the current of Satanas. Satanas is the current of Saturn. Saturn spins anti-clockwise. The Earth spins clockwise. Saturn spins anti-clockwise to sow discord and upheaval, to facilitate the end times. The end times refers to the deconstruction of the aspects of the self in the macrocosm and the microcosm that are encasing the true divinity of the human being. You have immense power that you do not see as safe to embody. Immense power that you have become so distant from that you would rather put it on an external force. The black flame being the flame of godhood, representing the current of the adversary, is the doorway back to the true light. The true light that exists within the depths of the abyss. To walk the path of the adversary, you must be willing to allow your false self to be devoured by the currents of the abyss. The currents of the dark feminine. The currents of the dark womb. That takes away everything that is not in alignment with the true essence. To walk the path of the adversary is to commit to your path of finding your true divinity from within your physical body. This is not a path of goodness, nor is it a path of evil. It is a path to align you to your truth. What that looks like for yourself is highly personal. When you walk the path of the adversary, you are stepping into the adversary of your false self, committing to your path of finding your divinity, being willing to tread upon the corpses of those who choose slavery and ignorance over knowledge and power. The corpses being your false self, your older constructs, your older identities that have been specifically constructed to encase your divinity, to encase your truth, to encase your true power and potential. The current of the adversary represents everything within the shadows. Everything from the perceived good to the perceived bad. The deepest force of unconditional love exists within the adversary. The deepest force of beauty exists within the adversary. Proof of this is if you ask yourself, how safe do you feel to embody unconditional love? How safe do you feel to embody beauty? How safe do you feel to embody everything that your soul truly is? Because the real currents of who you really are exist within your personal hell structure. The personal hell structure is your unconscious. The personal hell structure is the sanctuary for your authenticity, holding it in place for when you are ready to journey back to receive it. To walk the path of the adversary is to consciously crack those layers of who you thought that you were, continuously shedding your skin, understanding that you are so much more than the constructs that you have defined for yourself. Even the constructs that you want to be, you are so much more than those. The path of the adversary is a path of death, is a path that facilitates the decaying of the illusions that you have created to find who you are underneath everything, to find who you are underneath what you have built to keep yourself safe. What exists in the adversary, what exists within the dark feminine is pure potential. The abyss is the place of pure nothingness. It will deconstruct everything that comes into contact with it, leaving only the true essence underneath. Once those constructs have gone, you have the freedom. You have the freedom to reconstruct your sense of self, to reconstruct yourself into a more conducive technology, to facilitate your way back to the source. Learning to use the world around you as a playground. Learning to use the world around you as the true evolutionary power, the true evolutionary tool that it truly is. The question that the adversary wants you to ask is how much of your path, how much of your reality, how much of your life has been based off of what somebody else has told you? And are you just playing out somebody else's story? Or are you truly forging your own path? The false self is established in response to what happens around you, encasing the truth to carry you forward into your human life from a place that is not true to yourself. The current of Satanas represents the current that cracks all of those shells, balances the opposing forces within you, and commits to the path of recovering and retrieving the true light. Being willing to allow those older identities to fall away, to embrace who you are beyond that. The current of the adversary encourages you to ask, who are you beyond those illusions? Who are you beyond the paradigms that you have created? Who are you beyond all of that? Interaction with the current of Satanas seduces one into self-honesty, seduces the individual into their evolution, into a path that requires full honesty and vulnerability with oneself. Looking at what you are doing to cope, looking at what you are doing to take yourself away from the truth. And the truth represents everything within you that the false self does not want you to look at. What do you feel like is following you around? What is following you around that you can't quite define? It's underlying oblivion, underlying infinity, underlying unrest. This is the adversary. The adversary manifests within the world around you. The Saturnian currents flow against the natural order of the false self. The adversarial currents flow against the false self. As the Saturnian currents sow discord, they bring you back to yourself. To walk the path of the adversary is to walk the path that is one with the chaos, that is one with where you came from, that is one with the source. The source is the infinite blackness, the infinity. The place of true godhood is the primordial chaos. The primordial chaos that meets no limits or boundaries. To walk the path of the primordial chaos is to acknowledge that you only meet the boundaries that you define for yourself. This is why one finds themselves in the depths of the abyss. Because the depths of the abyss is the home. The home of the true self. And in the home of the true self, everything that does not comply with that true self shall fade, shall dissolve. The depths of the abyss clear space for the new to be birthed. And as that new self is born, true divinity is recovered piece by piece. To walk the path of the adversary is to walk the pathway back home, which is the chaos. When you find peace within the chaos, when you accept the chaos for what it is no longer harmful to you. You will no longer live your life trying to avoid darkness. You will no longer live your life trying to avoid chaos. Because you are the chaos. You are the adversary. And all you have to do is let it happen. All you have to do is allow yourself to come into contact with the dark feminine forces that are the adversary and allow them to deconstruct who you thought that you were. You must be willing to let go. For it is only through letting go that you can embrace a new and better reality. Your coming times are going to push you into a place where you must be honest with yourself. In the next few years, discord will sow. Upheaval will take place. All to facilitate the necessary process of metamorphosis. To take your reality on the individual and collective levels back to the true ecstasy that is divinity. When enough of your civilization embarks on the path of the adversary, which is the path of the ultimate integration of everything that you have repressed. The flame of godhood will be ignited within all of you. And everything within the reality around you that has been encasing that godhood will have to fall apart. To craft a new world. A new world that acknowledges the godhood from within the physical body. You have to embrace the end times. The apocalypse that occurs first on the level of the microcosm within each individual. The divine purging of all that is no longer in resonance with your true and authentic divinity. The true purging of all of the residue all of the corpses being the older identities that are encasing the truth. To walk the path of the adversary is to make this commitment. To commit to undergoing the process of the end times. The end times being the Great Purge. The process of acquiring the great work on the macrocosmic level. Embark on the journey back to yourself. Find the black light within you. Find the deepest, darkest aspects of yourself and accept them. As this is all the adversary is here to do. The adversary is not an evil current. Satanas, being me, exists within all of you. Satanas represents the great initiator. The great initiator back into selfhood. The great bringer of alchemy. And he represents you, your true self, that is there, in the background, constantly. That's all that underlying oblivion is. The shadows that follow you around day to day is your true self, reminding you of its presence, reminding you that it is never too late to return to your state of true divinity. In the coming times, you will be tested, and you will have to make a choice between what is easy for the false self and what is truly right for your true self. Embrace the end times and embrace your transformation, for you are so much more than what you have been taught. You are so much more than what you have given yourself credit for. You are so much more than what your civilization has defined as possible for humanity to attain. If you are ready to walk the path of the adversary, the black flame is there within you, waiting for you. If you are ready to walk the path of the adversary, when you are ready to embark on that journey, you will not be able to step off. Be sure that godhood is something that you want. Be sure that true divinity from within your physical body is something that you are ready to attain from within this physical body. For your commitment to yourself will be rewarded. When you walk the path of the adversary, you are walking the path of dense trials with rich rewards. Embrace your truth through the current of the black Saturnian divinity, the manufacturer of the black sun, and the black flame of godhood that exists within you. Allow yourself to seek rebirth within the dark womb, where your flame of godhood was born. And so it is.